My name is Tom Wheeler. I am the co-creator of Cursed with Frank Miller and showrunner of the Netflix show Cursed, coming to you soon in 10 exciting hours. And I'm really happy to see this incredible cast here before me. Introducing, starting with Our Lady of the Lake, Catherine Langford, who plays Nimue. We have Gustav Skarsgård, who plays the ageless and enigmatic Merlin the Magician. Devon Terrell, the man who will be king, plays young mercenary Arthur, and then the mysterious weeping monk, played by the wonderful Daniel Sharman. So we're all here to talk about the show. I mean, I have lots of catching up to do with everyone here.
I'm Nimue.
Let me start with, Catherine, your prep for this show was extraordinary. But there's some days that you can't prepare for, and there were many of them on this show. What was your craziest day being Nimue on the set of Cursed?
It's hard to pick just one, but I definitely think a standout was that day in summer where we shot episode 8. There's a huge fight scene in episode 8. It was the hottest day the UK has ever had. Red paladins who are essentially in blankets and me with my 3 layers of leather. Summer also ironically happens to be wasp season in the UK, and I'd progressively be covered more and more in blood, which is like jam or like this syrup. And so I'd get up after this fight scene and then be running away from these wasps that would attach to my armor. So it was a very eventful day, but it's one of my favorite stories in hindsight.
Merlin, Gustav. So I guess I'm curious for you, what, being such a fan of fantasy, playing the most famous wizard of all time, what were one or two of your kind of purest geek out moments?
There are so many, but it was that first meeting with you, because I wasn't 100% sure, like, in whose hands is this, material, who's gonna, bring this to life. And it was during that first meeting that I was, 100% sure that I was in the right company. The attention to details, like the first time I got to see my staff, and the attention to detail in that, in all the props, in all the costumes, and the makeup and everything. So that was, I mean, it's a dream it's a wet dream, come true for a little geek boy. But also, just great moments with Catherine and the scenes we had together, the magic in our connection, and get to act with Peter Mullen, who's one of my all-time favorite actors. Yeah, there are so many highlights to this experience.
Now we're not strangers. I'm Arthur.
Arthur, the man who will be king. Devon, so what's it like playing a character that has this extraordinary destiny ahead of them? How do you carry that destiny with you?
I mean, I guess it's one of those things where obviously, we're starting at A, and then we know he will eventually become king, or so we think. Yeah, I guess the interesting part is what's going to happen in the middle, about adding all those layers so that we believe when we get to the outcome how that came to be. So it was one of those things where it was such a culmination of things, but you and Frank never made me feel the pressure of that I was playing King Arthur. I've always felt like I'm playing Arthur, and it's about adding elements to him. And I discovered new things every scene, so it was such an exciting process to kind of go through.
I remember 10. There's a battle scene in 10, and you had the flu, and you're surrounded by people in like 18 layers of like wetsuit, like gear, like goggles and everything. It was sideways ice rain. It was really brutal. Was that what it looked like, which was sort of not hard to act in those circumstances?
There was no acting involved, Tom. There was just surviving. It was just it was go in there, do your thing, vomit, run away, cry, come back. It was honestly one of the more incredible moments. I think that was one of those moments where I'll never forget the feeling of the pressure that we all felt to make this scene feel incredible and feel so like this huge moment in the show. And I've never been hit in the face with so much rain sideways. I'm be honest with you.
No, seriously. Daniel, my friend, you have a real rich internal life, as we know, for this character. You know, there's a lot going on, and yet how you as an actor get to express that character is in some ways largely through battle. Who helped you do that? Who helped you kind of prepare for that? And how did you sort of prepare for that? And what did you hope to convey in these kind of elegant battle sequences and fights?
I think when you and I talked in LA, I remember you and I kind of, we had a few little references for how this character, because he doesn't say a lot, so that there is, we are really telling a story of this person through an internal conflict that's going on throughout the series. The way that this person, who's kind of completely irrelated, has obviously gone through a lot of trauma, the way that they express themselves is therefore going to be in how he fights. Because I was so particular about how I wanted it to look, the fights to look, because they are an expression of his internal life, and because I'm not saying a lot. And I think largely what helps with a lot of this is I haven't seen these. I never saw these people. I never saw Devon. I never saw Catherine. I never saw Gustav. Like, we never saw each other, and it was largely quite isolating, but in a really good way, because the Weeping Monk is essentially an isolated character.
Let's wrap up with you guys. What do you want the fans to take away from this story of Cursed? What's your sort of hope that they come away with, starting with Nimue?
I feel like Daniel said earlier, these are such bizarre circumstances and times. And one of the greatest things about fantasy, at least for me growing up watching it, is that it provides this kind of escapism from the everyday today. And I feel like there's so much in it. Again, like Devon said, it makes you laugh, it makes you cry. There are moments of tragedy, but also so many moments of heroism and courage and positivity that I feel like it can bring a lot of levity and escapism to a time like this.
Merlin?
I just wish to everyone out there that you would come along for the ride. I can just say, give it a go. This is fantasy. If you're anything like I am, you need to know what happens next. And if you're anything like I am, you're not gonna be able to stop watching.
Arthur?
I would say similar to, I was gonna say to Merlin, to Gustav, that yeah, give it a go. It's an incredible journey that I'm full of perseverance and many stories that have been told in such a new, beautiful way. So I'm excited for audiences to watch.
Weeping Monk?
What's really cool about this is it's challenging your views about what this story looks like, and there are constant surprises along the way. And what's lovely about that is it challenges you all the time to think, why have I thought of the story this way, and why haven't I thought of it this way? And so I look forward to hearing people's surprise and shock along the way.
To our fans, I could talk with these guys forever, and I hope you appreciate their wonderful performances, the way they brought these characters to life. I know I have just bottomless gratitude to them for their commitment, for their talent, and what they brought to the story of Cursed. So please tune in, enjoy, and goodbye to my friends. I hope to see you soon.